Hello, everybody. What a day, another green one today, boys. Just barely, but we had a pretty solid day here at SMB. I'll take you guys over the trades. First things first. So first thing, we open a SPY put naturally, because that's typically my first trade of the day when SPY looks really weak in the open, which it did. So SPY, we gap down. It feels, I mean, really hardly gap down. It chops, chops, chops. Big red candle. I'm thinking we're dumping. I grab a put. I grabbed that at 709. I closed at 742 for a $11 gain, I believe. Yes, $11. What was that? 709, 742. Yeah, basically just grab it right there. I mean, we come down a little bit. It makes about $1.50 move. I didn't time the bottom perfectly, but it just did not feel like SPY was gonna dump. You can see the level that we got pulled down to was right over here, right at this past resistance is now future support. We got pulled down there, we bounced, we have support there, and that was my first trade for 11 bucks. Otherwise, so I swung a Apple call overnight. This week Apple call, very risky. I'm thrilled I got out with any profit at all. It should have been a lot better, but I'll get into the trade. So we open up and Apple's just super weak. Apple gaps down, just no gas at all. It's selling off. It's dumping. I'm in one call right now. I grab another one at 8:14. I grab another one at 9:36, and then another one at 10:36. So I legged into this pretty heavily, and I'll show you. So 8:14, 9:36, 10:36. So I'll show you what I was seeing. So clearly, you can see this trend line that we break out of right here. It was just an easy setup. We just have this trend line resistance. We break above it. I grab another one. We come up. We retest that trend line. Bounce off it again. We come up. And now I had a chance to take profits up here. I could have taken like 20 bucks, but I'm a little greedy. And Apple being Apple, the way Apple has been recently is just insane. So I wait, thinking we're just going to keep going up. Apple's kind of lagging the market, which is a little worrying, but I just wait, 9:36 and 10:36. So we get this little dip over here at 9:36. So I bought the dip right here perfectly. This was a perfect dip because we come right down to this fib line, this 50% fib line on the day from. So I drew fibs from the bottom of this the bottom of the candle low, and then the top of the candle high up here, and we come down perfectly to this 50% line, which is right where VWAP was, and we bounce off that. I draw another trend line, and this trading is just like too easy on days like today. Like, I just draw a trend line right there, it breaks it, you buy it, your stop loss is that line. It's like, look how easy that was. If I already wasn't in Apple calls, I would have just played that. Like, that was just so free, like just a trend line break, and then it was just gone. And then I end up grabbing another one over here at 10:36. Now that it looks like SPY has some strength. Once we rebroke through this fib level, I grab another. We're testing the fib level. We get a fully engulfed candle. We go straight up. So Apple has this gap right here, this big old red line right here. See if I can make that a little wider so we can see it. Make it a dotted line. So we got this big old gap up here, and this gap goes all the way up here. Make this one green. Also make it wide with dotted line. So we got a big ass gap, and we're going right for it, and I'm thinking, oh my god, these calls are gonna print. But what do we get? We get this wicked. This is a tweezer top right here. You got the tweezer top. You see with the top of these two wicks. That is a perfect textbook tweezer top, and they call it a tweezer top because it looks like two tweezers. The tops of the tweezers right there. And that's generally a pretty good reversal sign. Sometimes it fakes you out. But this one was, so look where these candles closed. They close right at that gap line, right below it. It opens up the gap line. We get a almost fully engulfing with the tweezer top. And I was in calls, so I saw this. I took my profits. I ended up taking $52 in profit off of this, so I'm at 63 for the day. And I was thrilled with that. I did not think Apple was going to dump, but we got the first big knife on Apple, on just the market in general, that I've seen in a very long time. Apple went from 173.70 straight down to 171.80. Just a massive, and look at this volume too, just a massive knife. Just dump. And I almost grabbed puts once we broke this trend line. I was just like, I don't know. Going into a day where we're going to have news tomorrow, I'm almost certain that the market is not going to rug pull unless it has a good reason to. So I did not see this much downside, and frankly, I just came off a win, so I saw no reason to even attempt to, because I thought I might just give my winnings back. But it ended up being a good trade. But what I did do is just drew this trend line because we're in an uptrend. So that's what happens when you're in an uptrend. When you dump down, you draw the trend line. Where the trend line breaks, you buy a call. I did not do this. I wish I did, because look at what it does. It breaks this trend line. So you buy a call, your stop loss is that level. Well, you could see too, look at this fib level. It just bounced, consolidate, break through that line, and it made a nice move to the upside. And this is just like, it's like such a like simple way to trade. I love when the chart like works so easily like that on a day like today. But so I ended up taking a 52. It was up to like 120. I know it got up so high up here, but I was just like, oh, the gap's right there. Don't sell yet. And I was going for the big one. I was going for the big boss Gucci bag, big gain. But I ended up, took some gains because these options literally fell by 50% off of this knife. So I was like, thank God I sold once I saw that tweezer top, because I bet a lot of people did not, and they lost all of their money. So I was thrilled with that. Next trade, I added onto my DraftKings position. I have one DraftKings call, a 2250 call. It's about a month out for the 16th of September. Exactly a month out today, actually. And now, what I'm seeing on DraftKings, and it did have a pretty terrible close. Oh my God, it knifed on close. So that's a little troubling. And a big fucking Head and Shoulders. Ooh, that's not good. Well, that one's not looking so good. I'm down $30 on that. What I'm seeing on DraftKings is it is just one of these small caps that's so beat up, and it usually, I mean, last year it did this, so it's hard to say because last year was its first year. It usually runs into football season. Football season is where they make their most money. It usually has a great run in September, and you can see this over here. Of course, it just went like vertical. That was back in 2021, but it is in an uptrend. It has broke the EMAs on the weekly. It just has all the good makings. And now right here, of course, right here we get a shooting star off the 200 EMA, or a 200 simple moving average, this yellow line on the daily. It has not been above that line since September of last year. So that is how critical that line is. And if it resists off of that, I am a little worried about this position, especially with this Head and Shoulders that it made. Holy shit, that is a rough Head and Shoulders. And look at that neckline. It hit it and then just dropped off $1 or about half a dollar. So that's a little concerning on DraftKings, but we're still in it. I am pretty confident. I think the market is just, I mean, what can you say? The market, it's like we're back in the bull market. It's like this 6 months of pain never even happened. It's crazy. My head is just spinning. Like, and every day it just keeps going up. It's like, when is it gonna stop? Every day it keeps going up. It's crazy. So I'm looking at the stocks that are just beat up and that I think are worth more than their current price. So I grabbed another one of those on DraftKings. I grabbed 300 shares of Hut. I recently took profit on Hut, but Hut had a nice setup today, and it still does. It just sold off really hard, so I took my profits on Hut. I took my profits on Hut yesterday up here. Ooh, that's pretty wicked double top up there. It sold off pretty hard today. Bitcoin has just been a week. I don't know what's up with Bitcoin, but I just see this trend line. It's in an uptrend, so I bought on this trend line break, and I could have sold it for like $13 profit, but I'm still holding. I still have confidence in Hut. I think it's going to still keep rising up if Bitcoin can continue to rise. But it is sitting right at support. You can see the support, and it almost also has a fucking Head and Shoulders. Jesus Christ. Pardon my language. God damn it. Now I'm seeing Head and Shoulders everywhere. Of course, this is what always happens when I step away and then I look back at stuff. So I'm back in 300 shares of Hut, pretty small position. Next thing I did was, of course, grab a SPY call, and you'll never guess if I just would have held it, it would have gone up like $60. I know, another day of this, but I didn't do that because I was already in Apple calls, so I was just like, I don't need to be in both of these. I can just size up heavily in the Apple, which I did, so I was fine with that. But actually, these calls would not have gone up that much because SPY also had this wicked knife. Look at it on the 1 minute chart. I mean, SPY hasn't done this in a long time, dude. This was pretty concerning when I saw SPY do this. I was like, oh no. I was having like flashbacks, like that meme of that scared dog that's like having a Vietnam War flashbacks. You know, it's like this was. Look at this 15-minute candle, just jumped just straight down, right down to this key level I have marked. I put that key level there a very long time ago, and look right down to where it wicked. And if I didn't take my win on Apple, I said yesterday I wasn't going to trade it all today. And the fact that I did and I made some money, I was just like, I don't need to trade anymore. taking my money, I'm done. So that would have been a good play otherwise. But I bought that SPY call mainly because SPY just looked so strong. It was ripping, but I knew today was just going to be choppy, which it was, because it ended up tanking. So I'm glad I sold when I did. I took a $10 profit on that, so I made 21 bucks on SPY today. About, what did I say, 52? So 53.73 on Apple. Then I bought 5 more shares of Cloudflare, ticker net, Cloudflare, the company, and I'm just buying the dip on Cloudflare. It's kind of just bull flagging up here, doing this like weird little channel thing, and it's just consolidating for the next move up should the market continue to go up. And it's crazy. It's like we're back at buy the dip. It's truly, we're back at buy the dip. It's insane. It is no longer sell the rip. It has turned into buy the dip in basically a matter of weeks. It's like, I'm just floored by this. It's crazy. It's just insane. How could the market be such a shit show only 3 months ago, and now it's just like we're back to, everything's good. So anyways, I grabbed more of that. I averaged down in my AMD call, so I'm getting aggressive. I will make another video today explaining what SPY did today and why I'm getting aggressive, but I know it's by the time I get aggressive, it's probably time to fucking sell, right? But I grabbed another AMD call. AMD is just in a huge consolidation, just in this big ass zone right here. It's in an uptrend. I have all the reason to believe it is consolidating before it makes another move to the upside, and I like it to the upside a lot. One thing that I do have to pay attention to is this trend line that is currently about resting on, and you can see, look what it wicked down to. It wicked right down to that trend line today. Of course, I didn't buy the call off of that, but you could see where it sold off, just right to that trend line. And now we have this level that's holding up at 99.66, and you can see it double bottomed off of that pretty nicely, just bounce, and now it's almost looking like a Head and Shoulders too. What the fuck? God damn it, that... Alright, now I'm getting a little worried. I'm seeing Head and Shoulders everywhere. Oh god. That is a bearish reversal. Anyways, I got tight stops on all these. I am pretty confident tomorrow is going to be a green day again. I mean, I have no reason, until it stops being green every day, I'm just going to trade as if it's going to be green every day. And that's ultimately what trading with the trend is all about. If the trend is still going up, you just trade going up until it doesn't work anymore. And hope by then you don't give all the money you made back. So... anyways, that's the day in a nutshell. I made like 70 some bucks. You know, I'm fine with that. I said I wasn't gonna trade it all today, so I'm glad that I traded. And not only did I trade, but I actually traded successfully. And this Apple call, I mean, this thing was down like $100 at one point, and I held. I said, what do I do every time this happens? I always panic sell, but I said, not today, Apple. You are not gonna make me sell my call back to the market makers. They want me to do that, and I did not. So. Successful day for me. I'll take a win. I'm going to make another video right now talking about SPY and just talking like what is happening in this market. So tune in for that one too, folks. Catch you later.